for the serious gamer.
Hey, what's going on, NextGenTactics? It's Guns for Hire here with another update on Black Ops. I didn't think I was actually going to be doing another update video so soon. I think I just released one yesterday regarding the beta scam. However, they released some pretty critical information, so I thought it was important to get it out there. Plus, I have sort of, not necessarily, I'm not crapping on anyone's parade or anything, just a little food for thought and a little additional information on people that are freaking out and I don't know, they're getting all negative about the Prestige Edition and everything like that that's come out. They don't like it, and it was actually CyberKid on our website posted a topic on our forums, and he unsubbed from this particular individual because they were ranting and raving about how unrealistic, and I'm going to get to that. But first of all, the main news is the Hardened and Prestige Edition of Black Ops has been confirmed, and actually, I don't have it up here. Look, I'll switch it over. Amazon.com, where you can order video games, already has the details of the Prestige Edition and the Hardened Edition. So this is information that's fairly certain and secure. And basically, you get, for the Prestige Edition, you get an RC car, and the RC car is just not like a normal remote control car. I mean, it's meant to replicate the one that's in the game, so it's kind of military style, you know what I mean? Bare bones. You don't put on something fancy, you don't put on a nice looking hard shell so that you can do drift racing and stuff. You know what I mean? It's meant to blow up, so you don't put much on it, you keep it very basic. And that's what they did, and that's sort of what they give you. But they also give you a microphone and a camera on it that allows you to sort of visualize and actually see it as it's driving, which I think is kind of cool. It's kind of fun. Probably a lot more fun, although unless you're a pervert, the Modern Warfare 2 Prestige, where you got the night vision goggles, might have come in handy. But the RC car probably has a little more longevity, a little more more fun application to it. And we're gonna get to, and by the way, Spider-Bite and I do plan on getting one. We're gonna do our damnedest to try and get one. It'd be kind of fun if we had two and we could have races and film them and see, do all sorts of tricks and, do little battle wars, see if we can do something. I don't know, figure it out. But we're definitely going to be trying to get one at least one. And we're going to film the unboxing and, fool around with it a little bit. But the other big news related to this, if you've noticed, for the Hardened Edition, and obviously the Prestige Edition includes the Hardened Edition, all the sort of goodies that are involved in that, and you get, what it is 4 co-op modes that are not included in the regular game, and the maps. And there's various sites that are releasing different information, and I found one that shows allegedly like a picture, a scanned image of this article that's recording, and you're not going to be able to see it on here anyway. Yeah, you can't really see it. It's a scanned image, and it basically says they've given a little bit more information. It looks pretty legit, but again, you can make a duck's head on a bear look legit if you're really skilled at graphic arts and doing tricks. So anyway, 4 co-op modes. It said 4 revised zombie maps from World at War for updated for the Black Ops engine. So that's great news. Everybody, as far as, that's what everyone's assuming, and I would probably assume the same. Again, I don't want to give you false information because that's not what I'm doing here. I want to make sure that I give you educated information, which is why I always research it, always look it up, and you guys can do the same. Anyway, and I'll put the link to the Amazon in the description of this video as well, so if you want to take a look at it, go right ahead. Anyway, so if it is absolutely 4 revised zombie maps from World at War, do you not think maybe that's kind of a ripoff? You've already played these. Like, yeah, they're going to be updated for the Black Ops engine, which is likely the Modern Warfare 2 engine. Just a little bit faster, which is good because World at War engine needed to be updated. So I'm glad that they're doing that. However, it's the same maps. If you're fans of Zombie, you've already played them. I was more excited for, like, maybe they're going to bring a whole new different zombie with different maps, completely different maps altogether. Like different types of zombies, you know what I mean? But the fact that they're just sort of rehashing old maps and then updating them with the engine kind of kind of feels a little bit like a ripoff. And I'm not a huge fan of zombies, so don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to crap on you guys. If you love them, maybe it will actually improve it because of the new engine. But and maybe they're going to start with that and then build on that. They'll have an actual separate zombie mode. But what happens is people that, this is just a thought, I'm not saying that don't start spreading this, but maybe they're, you know, the Hardened Edition and the Prestige Edition, you get these 4 revised zombie maps, but the game itself is going to have zombies. It's going to have its own version of zombies, but these 4 maps they're bringing back from the old school and putting them in there. I mean, why else, really, why would you bring in zombie maps and old ones and not put anything new? I mean, you always get map updates, always updates, and they did that with World at War. They gave you zombies, and then they gave you more maps for it. So there's a good possibility, and again, don't start spreading this from this video, but think about it. There's a good possibility that if they're going to include revised zombie maps, there's a good possibility there's going to be new zombie maps. They're going to add on to it, because it's a huge component of it. So it is good news. I just think that the revised thing is kind of, I don't know, it's not that great as a bonus gift, you know what I mean? But it does hint towards something that's going to be probably pretty good in the future, and that's what I'm banking on. So I am kind of geared up for it, and I'll get the Hardened. We'll probably get Prestige Edition if we can get our hands on it, and then a Hardened Edition. I always like having the metal case. I don't know, something about it. I like it. Now, one last thing before I end this. There's a lot of, and I mentioned this, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but CyberKid on our website, he came across an individual, and he was a fan. He's a big fan of this person, but he actually unsubbed. You know what? It happens. We get people unsubbing all the time. But he unsubbed because he didn't like this person ranting and raving him and crapping on Black Ops. And as you all know, the RC car is in Black Ops, and the Prestige Edition is pushing this RC car, which I think is cool and it's fun. It's just fun, you know what I mean? Yeah, it costs a bit more money and everything, but you know what? Video games, I friggin' love them, and I love all these little playthings that you get with it. So I'm all on board for it. I don't really care. We're gonna do it. We're gonna have fun with it. However, this particular individual, and I'm not gonna mention names because I really don't want to get into that. I don't want to crap on anyone. And people are all flooding into it, and this is my problem. The individual talks about the RC car and how he's so disappointed and he feels ripped off, and he feels like these companies like Activision and Treyarch are ripping us all off, and they're putting these things in that are unrealistic, like an RC car, and he says, you know, RC cars aren't developed until the 80s, and they shouldn't have been in the 70s, but the only reason why they put it in there is so that they could sell the Prestige Edition and get this RC car and sell it in time for Christmas. Well, number one, yeah. Of course they're gonna do that. I mean, that's the business, right? They're not making games because God talked to them, they're like, you must make video games to please the masses. They're like, no. You know what, I'm gonna make a lot of money, and I'm gonna make some kick-ass games, and they're gonna buy it. So that's what they do. You know what, just reality, get over it. You don't wanna spend the extra money, buy the basic game, who cares? It's gonna be fun, I'll see you guys out there. But the RC car, here's a little education for you, and a little education. And if you figure out who it is, please don't post it because I don't want to start a war here. But a little education for you guys. If you guys are fans of this individual, a lot of people have viewed this video, so chances are, I'm assuming some of you are going to be watching this. RC cars were sort of highly made public in the 80s, commercially, as a toy. RC cars, radio-controlled cars, which is what RC stands for if you live on Pluto, or you're not involved in nerdy stuff like that, whatever, you know what I mean. So radio controlled cars actually were developed and extensively used non-commercially by military operations in the early 60s, which kind of puts it in line with Black Ops, you know what I mean? They had radio-controlled cars. And if you don't believe me, I'm actually going to post the link. Don't start freaking out and hating. I'm not tripping on anyone. I'm trying to educate you guys. I'm just trying to give you some information, okay? I'm not trying to make anyone angry. But radio-controlled cars were invented way before that. It's like a lot of things, like with GPSs. GPS was a military application that was available long ago, long before the public had access to it. And as a matter of fact, when they made it publicly accessible, they actually dumbed down the version so it wasn't super accurate. The GPSs, the early versions of the commercially spread publicly owned ones were dumbed down. They said, okay, we'll allow you to use the satellites to say you're in this general area. And nowadays, you know, you get a GPS, it knows exactly, it can pinpoint exactly where you are, because they've kind of laxed on that a little bit. But it's the same thing with RC cars. I mean, you got to think about it. A lot of the stuff is sort of like remote controlled drones to save lives. I mean, a lot of stuff, a lot of technology is driven by military applications, and it's no different here. And it's you can go on Wikipedia. I know it's just a website, but you can research the stuff, the information that's in there. You could go to your local library and look this stuff up. Radio controlled cars were around, and probably actually the stuff I found is probably before that. I mean, early applications, I think there's like nitro controlled or gas powered ones that predate 1960, but the applications are a little bit more raw. But during that time, like, I mean, Vietnam, you know, they weren't in the Stone Age. It's not World War II. They had technology, and making a radio controlled car is not hard. They had radio controlled technology. It's how they communicated to people with the jets and stuff. So this isn't, and I'm not saying it's Vietnam, I know it's a Cold War or something like that, whatever. The technology was there. Radio-controlled cars were available. You know, anyone freaking out, if you see any of those videos, I'm not putting any links to this at all, because I'm not starting a troll or a war online here. I'm just trying to educate you guys. So just keep that in mind. It is realistic to have them in there. Whether or not they're going to be abused, I don't know. There's a possibility. People hack and make these things incredibly explosive and dangerous. Yeah, it's going to be problematic. But you know what? It's a fun application. Maybe they'll have to patch it. Treyarch's usually pretty good at that stuff. Infinity Ward probably a little slow on Modern Warfare because of all the mass exiting of employees and stuff, so they're having a bit of problems. But you know, Treyarch's, they're still around. They're still pushing forward. So if there's issues with something, I guarantee you they're going to do their best to fix it. So just relax, enjoy the game. It's going to be fun. The main thing is, I think it's kind of cool. We're going to have fun with it, no problem. Zombies looks like it's going to be in there. Again, I don't want to confirm that, but there's a good, strong, incredibly good possibility that zombies is going to be in there. The first release is probably just going to be rehash, give you a little flavor, give you some maps that the others won't have. But why give you zombie technology if the rest of the game isn't going to actually have it with new maps? You know what I mean? I think it's going to be good. So anyway, I'm Guns for Hire from NextGenTactics. This has been an update on Black Ops. It's going to be fun. Don't worry about it. Even if you don't like it, I mean, don't get all negative on it. It's just a game. We're going to have fun. It's going to be fun. Or you can keep on playing Modern Warfare 2 and raging. Huh? I don't think so. Peace, boys.